Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Diana Skaya. Poland is ramping up deportations of foreign nationals involved in criminal activity after a major crackdown on organized gangs. Now, the country's interior minister, Tomasz Siemoniak, says the government is taking a firm stance with nearly 400 deportation proceedings already underway this year. Now, joining me now to discuss it all is Aleksandra Karasińska, director at the Ringer Axel Springer Polish Foundation. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us here on World Talks.
Hello, good morning. Good to see you.
All right. So, I mean, this is coming at such a crucial time here, of course, also before Poland heads into elections. Now, Poland has intensified its deportation efforts following, of course, this major crackdown of foreign crime groups. But aside, of course, with the presidential elections coming up, why now?
Well, I'm not surprised, actually, by this move by the Polish government and Polish officials, because it has been announced many times that this is the policy. And the fact is, I've checked the numbers, and according to Amnesty International, Poland has regularly deported migrants or people that has illegally crossed our borders, and has actually one of the highest numbers of executed deportations in EU. The people that enter Polish borders illegally and being forced to leave are actually for majority nationals from Georgia, from Russia, from Ukraine and Belarus, but also from Moldova and Uzbekistan. And what I've heard from the news is that basically Polish police and Polish custom officers, they reported a higher number of organized crime that has operated in the Polish territory. So something has to be done.
Aleksandra, what kind of specific crimes can you mention here that these groups or these individuals have conducted here in the country?
Well, if we talk about organized crime from East, as I mentioned, Georgia, Ukraine, Colombia even, so mostly these people are trafficking drugs, they are burglars and, other activities that are carried on by organized crime organizations. And I don't have to remind you that Polish eastern border is, in fact, the eastern border of Europe, is eastern border of Schengen zone. So really what happens in Poland, most of the asylum seekers in Poland or people who illegally cross the border, they do not stop even in Poland. Majority of them are going to Germany, to France. Well, basically, they are moving westward. And those who stay, well, I've been reading reports on what Polish police said. So they are afraid, or they are expecting that the level of organized crime might be even as high as we had experienced in Poland in the 90s. So I don't know if you remember, but in the 90s we have several Polish organized crime gangs and like Wolomin and other. And it was actually a few years battle by the police and special forces to get rid of those organizations. So I understand from the statements that the officials are basically afraid that we will be coming, the Polish society might become the prey of such organizations again.
Poland's Interior Minister Tomasz Siemoniak said that all deportation decisions are legally justified. Now, do we know how these cases are being reviewed? Is there any concern about due process?
Well, definitely organizations that help migrants do voice concerns. But I also understand the government because, as we know, majority of society is in favor of controlling migration. So this was a policy not only by Poland, but Ursula von der Leyen very clearly stated that the migration issue will be the key focus in her second term. And Polish government is in line with Brussels in this issue. You asked me about particular cases. I'm not familiar with them, but you know, the problem with the asylum seekers or the people who cross the border is that our law is actually kind of outdated. And I say our law, meaning the European Union, because the asylum policy was not actually created to help millions of people, but actually individuals who were prosecuted in their countries.
So let me ask you this. What do you think that, I mean, not just Poland, because I mean, you did mention other countries as well, how they cross into Germany and so forth. So what do you think that these countries can actually do to prevent or maybe to flag these individuals or criminal groups before they actually coming into a given country, let's say Poland or, like you said, Germany?
I'm not sure I can have a clear answer because these policies are actually being created right now. And as I've learned, the commissioner that is handling the migration problem is going to present a new policy on March the 7th. So I'm not aware what these measures will be, but I remember, the publication in Der Spiegel about also not only migrants, but also people who, for example, Russia uses to spy basically on European countries. And there was an article with proven facts that Russia managed to plant 3 or several Afghans working for GRU, which is GRU, the Russian agency, and one of them crossed Polish border. So we not only have an organized crime, but it's something even more dangerous. And definitely, European Union and Poland has ability and measures to control these incidents.
Reports here are, Aleksandra, that some of those that are going to be detained or that are detained are going to serve first prison sentences in Poland before being deported. What can you tell us about this? I mean, will this affect in any way the legal system? What should we know, or what should we be concerned about here in this case?
Well, definitely dangerous people and dangerous individuals that might slip through the cracks of the system, and they might have access to European countries illegally. They should have also the legal process as citizens, so there should be a legal, lawful process. But as you mentioned, the procedure, there was talks of those return hubs in third countries. Maybe this similar to those agreements that Italy has with Albania, but this is actually a huge problem. For many years, it was rejected by mainstream politicians, especially by the left. And now we are facing with the situation almost 500,000 people were ordered to leave EU in 2023, but only probably something like 5% did so. So we do have, as a European Union, have a problem with executions of orders to leave the border for people, the area of the people.
Let me ask here a little bit of a challenging, what may sound like a challenging question. Now, if we go back to Donald Tusk, who he framed this as a national security issue. But I mean, would you say, or do you think that it's about crime prevention, or is it more of a political motive?
I think both. It doesn't have to be one or another. it might be a huge problem, an actual problem, fighting with organized crime and also basically spies and agents from Russia or other countries. And at the same time, it could be used in a political campaign. It doesn't have to be one of the other. But I believe the Polish society, when you look at the polls, is definitely in favor of such actions. I hope they are conducted legally. We'll see the process with general journalists and free press and NGOs will probably have a look at the due process, and I hope the Polish authorities will conduct it according to law.
Aleksandra, if we look ahead, now Poland, correct me if I'm wrong, expelled nearly 8,000 people last year, and the government promises to maintain a strict stance. Do you think that we could see even tougher immigration policies here in Poland or deportation measures in the near future? And also, how is that going to actually impact for Poland to be able to remain welcoming to actually legal migrants that are coming into the country?
Well, you know, if we look at the broader picture, where the migration comes from and why it happens is definitely it's much more complicated than just organized crime or spies. This is the cases we mentioned that are very dangerous. But the migration, the huge migration to Europe is connected and is actually the result of global crisis, climate crisis, and also people escaping war zones and poverty. So Europe do not have, generally as a community of countries, do not have a good process of accepting migrants, of checking whether we have places for them to work and live, and which people we want to accept and which not. It's always been a debate about human rights, about being an open society, and so forth. But I think we came to the political point, but also awareness in Western societies that we will have to deal with the problem and have the honest debate about it. And definitely there should be, and regrettably, I say that for many years, Polish, but also European politicians tried to ignore the problem, and the problem cannot be solved in our borders or at our borders, but in a diplomatic way. There definitely should be more effort to help people in the countries where they come from, and spread the news. What should they expect? Because most of these people pay illegal organizations to be crossed.
Thank you so much, Aleksandra Karasińska. That's all the time we have for this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your insights and being with us here on TVP World. And that completes this edition of World Talks. I'm Diana Skaya. Thanks for watching.